Good morning. We're looking at week 6, final assessment, conversions for area, volume, and temperature. Question 1, convert the measurement to the nearest hundredth. Feel free to use a calculator on this problem. So we have 68 feet per second, and you want to convert it to miles per hour. So I end up converting feet to miles and seconds to minutes to hours to get it to miles per hour. Okay. So when I'm doing my conversion here, I'll get rid of, in this case here, I'm doing my seconds, take care of my time first. All right, so I convert my seconds to minutes, and then my minutes to hours, and then I take care of my feet, get rid of the feet, to miles. So when I multiply, all the units cancel out except for miles per hour. So across the top, I'm going to have 68 times 60 times 60 divided by 5,280 miles per hour gives me 46.36 miles per hour. Okay, number 2, a rectangular section of grass measures 75 feet by 114 feet. What is this area in square yards? Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So my area here, so I drew a rectangular region, 75 feet by 114 feet. Area is length times the width. So I have 114 times 75 gives me 8,550 square feet. Okay. And they want the area in square yards. So we know that there's 3 feet in a yard. If that's true, we can square both sides. We end up with 1 square yard is 9 square feet. So we can convert square feet into square yards. So square feet here. And I know that 1 square yard is 9 square feet. I multiply square yards, cancel. And I'm left with square feet cancels. I'm left with square yards. So 8,550 divided by 9 gives me 950 square yards for number 2. And that's problem number 2. Number 3, convert 131 pounds to kilograms. Use 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So here I have 131 pounds, and I want to get rid of pounds, so I'll put it in the bottom. Replace it with kilograms. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So pounds cancel out, and I have 131 divided by 2.2 kilograms. Gives me 59.5 kilograms. So my answer there. And number 4, is number 4 and 5. 4, convert 59 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. So I wrote up my formula here. I assigned values to my variables here. And then I plugged into my formula here. And I end up with 1.8 divided by 1.8 gives me 13.33 degrees Celsius. And they say round to the nearest tenth, 13.3. Number 5, convert to Fahrenheit. So I wrote up my formula, assigned values to my variables, 35 degrees Celsius. Then I plugged into the formula, 8, and I multiplied. 35 times 1.8 plus 32 gives me 95 for my final answer for number 5. For number 6, convert convert 13 liters to gallons. Okay, so I have 1 liter is 0.264172 gallons. So I multiply. I want liters to cancel out and replace it with gallons. I multiply out and end up with approximate round to the nearest tenth, approximately 3.4 gallons for my answer there. Number 7, that was number 6 there. Number 7, convert 35 miles per hour to feet per second. So I have here miles per hour to feet per second. So converting miles to feet and hours to minutes to seconds. Okay. So I start out by converting miles to feet. I cancel out the miles and I replace it with feet. And then I multiply again, and I cancel out the hours and replace it with minutes. And I multiply again, and I cancel out the minutes and replace it with seconds. So everything cancels out except for feet per second. So across the top, I'm going to have 35 times 5,280 divided by 60 times 60 feet per second. Feet per second. And that gives me 51.333. Around to the nearest tenth, 51.3. And the feet per second. Okay, and that's number 7. Number 8, use the conversion factor. 1 gallon is 3.785 liters. Convert 6 gallons per minute to liters per hour. So I have to convert gallons to liters and minutes to hours. Okay, gallons to liters and minutes to hours. So I'll start out with 6 gallons a minute, and I want to get rid of the gallons and replace it with liters. Then I'll multiply again, and I want to get rid of the minutes. So it cancels out and replace it with hours. So when I finish, I have liters per hour. Everything else is canceled out. So I have liters per hour. Across the top, 6 times 3.785 times 60 liters per hour gives me 1,362.6 liters per hour for my answer. Next one here. Let's see here. Number 9 is next. Select the two conversion ratios. So here I'm going from miles to kilometers. So I want to create a cancellation, so I'll put miles in the bottom I put kilometers up top. The relationship between miles and kilometers is shown here in the two equivalences. 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers, and 1 kilometer is 0.621 miles. And these are my answers there. And that's for number 9. And for number 10, we're going from pounds to kilograms. So I want to create a cancellation, so I put pounds in the bottom so I can replace it with kilograms up top. The relationship between them, 1 kilogram is equal to 2.20 pounds. And that's my answer there for number 10. Number 11. There. Convert 16 square inches to square centimeters. So here I have 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So if that's true, I can square both sides. So I'll square both sides. So 1 square inch is going to be 6.4516 square centimeters. Okay. And I have 16 square 16 square inches. So I multiply both. If this is true here, I multiply both sides by 16. Okay. And that gives me 103.225 square centimeters. Let me round it to the nearest tenth. End up with 103.2 square centimeters for my answer. And that was number 11 there. Number 12. Convert square kilometers to square miles. So 1 kilometer is so many miles. So if that's true, then I can square both sides. So I have 1 square kilometers worth of 0.386101 square miles. And I have how many of them? 298 of them. So I multiply both sides by 298. Okay. And it gives me 115.058 square miles. And they round to the nearest whole number, 115 square miles. My answer, and that's number 12. Number 13. Convert to Kelvin. So I wrote up my formula for Kelvin, from Fahrenheit to Kelvin. Okay. Second thing is I assign values to my variables in the formula. The third thing is I plugged into the formula. Then I simplified following order of operations. And I end up with 198.666, round to the nearest tenth, and I end up with 198.7 for my final answer. Number 14. Number 14, convert Kelvin to Fahrenheit. So I wrote my formula here. Input Kelvin, output Fahrenheit. Now I assign values to my variables. Kelvin 267. Then I plugged into my formula. Then I simplified following the order of operations. And I end up with 21.2 for my answer. Okay, 21.2 degrees Fahrenheit. My answer, and that was number 14. Okay, number 15. A rectangular box measures 87 meters by 47 by 100 meters. What is the volume of the box in fluid gallons? So the formula for volume is length times width times height. I drew the figure and labeled it. Now plugged in. Okay, and that's meters. So I have cubic meters here. And they tell us that 1 cubic meter is 264.172 gallons. Okay. So, and I have how many of them? 40,000, 400, 8,900, 400,000, 408,900 cubic meters. So I multiplied both sides by that. So if this is true, I multiply both sides by it, and it's still true then. And then I have here 108. Okay. 33. So it looks like it's 10 million. Yeah. So it's 10 million, 801,930 gallons for my answer. And that is number 15. Number 16. A container holds 87 fluid ounces of liquid. How many cubic meters does it also hold? Okay. So they tell us the equivalent here. 1 fluid ounce is equal to so many cubic meters. And we have how many of them? 87 of them. So I multiplied both sides by 87. Okay. And it gives me this many cubic meters. Here's my final answer there. And then they round to the nearest millionth. So stay on there. They say round to the nearest million. Okay. And that was number 16. And that's the last one.